Hey, we are back. We are back on that Monday flow, man. Welcome back to another episode of I Track. Big shout out to everybody that's been tapping in. I've been swimming through them comments, man, and I've been seeing Indiana tap in, Texas, New York. I've been seeing even as far out as Poland, man. I appreciate all the love. Switzerland too, man. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And if this is your first time here, what we like to do is take a look at the most interesting and creepy videos from all across the internet and kind of evaluate for ourselves whether these are fact or fake. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button for me, smash that subscribe button, and join the iTrack fam, man. And without any further ado, let's just jump right into it.
What on earth is going on here? Are we witnessing a reptilian? After we surface this video,
Either she's a reptilian or God blessed her with feet so big she can walk on water.
Dark practitioners are very, very skilled, okay, in occult practices, in the supernatural realms, in the astral realm and the higher planes, and they understand how to manipulate all different types of energy. They have literally become masters of the laws of the universe, and that's what makes them so successful.
U.S. law enforcement officials have increased efforts to monitor possible Iran-backed operatives living in the United States, according to a report by CBS News. The report went on to say that earlier this month, the FBI director boosted surveillance on possible domestic sleeper cells linked to Hezbollah.
They got her. They got her. You guys, why are videos trending on TikTok that they have cloned Mariah Carey? Who is this? A lot of videos stated that Mariah Carey was completely stiff during her performance and she hardly moved at all. It was unlike any performance that she usually gives. I feel like everybody is starting to notice something different about celebrities right now. Like how all of a sudden celebrities are ageless because how? And fans that have followed her their entire lives are asking, what the heck is going on?
You want to see a robot? That's a robot. That lady, that's the first clone they've ever made. I don't know if it's AI. I don't know what it is, but that is not Mariah Carey. Look at the way this thing is moving.
And you can go back decades with Mariah Carey. The chick isn't aging. 1990s, 2025. Mariah Carey is 56 years old. How is she not aging? Do you think the world's losing it a little? Or are you asking, how is it possible that Mariah Carey looks better than she did 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago? Like, it's actually crazy to me. She looks like she's in her 20s. 56 years old, a decade ago. How?
First of all, Mariah Carey is one of those living legends, right? So she has the living legend type of money. So she can literally rejuvenate her face every year and make it look like she never ages. You know, not a lot of celebrities can do that. And that's where the conspiracies come from. Because you're thinking like, you know, how are they able to stay so young? But her specifically, I'm thinking maybe she spent a whole lot of money for that to happen, you know? But you can't rule anything out nowadays. You know, let me know what you think.
Have you ever wondered how rare your body is? If you have golden blood, you are one of 48 known humans on Earth. 1% of people carry a gene mutation that lets them sleep for 4 hours a night without feeling tired. I want to know when we can clone that, because that would be great to have, honestly. 0.1% of people are born with a tiny hole near their ear that has been said to possibly trace back to fish gills. 1 in 10,000 people have a second row of eyelashes that grows from their eyelid. 0.5% of people have an extra rib bone growing from their neck instead of their spine. 0.06% of humans have eyes with 2 completely different colors. Only 5% of the population in the world has amber colored eyes. 5% of people have extra taste buds that make bitterness and sweetness way more intense. Less than 1% of people have a gene mutation that makes their bones nearly unbreakable. Only 10% of people can voluntarily wiggle their ears. I definitely cannot do that. 35% of people never get at least one of their wisdom teeth, not even hidden under their gums.
Interesting fact, I have one of those pinholes that are like right here above my ear. And I had no clue, you know, what to call it, what it was there for. And now I have some kind of clarity. But him trying to link it to fish, that's a whole left turn, man. That's interesting.
I just called the police. Get out front of my door. This is the last time I'm gonna tell you. Get out front of my door right now. The police on the way. Go!
Just days after this happened, Jasmine records a video and points out something that makes this whole encounter even creepier.
In the 3 years that I've lived here, I have never seen this door come open. Ever. Like, you can't. But in the video, you saw the door just came open. Who opened the door? Like, look at it. Like, pitch black. Like, make it make sense. Like, how?
This whole occurrence is pretty strange. It's what happens next that's by far the most unsettling. This is where things start to get pretty weird, because after reaching out to property management and getting someone to open up this door, this happens.
Okay, y'all, so property management sent somebody up to come take a look, so I'm gonna let him do what he do, and I'm gonna stay back here.
The light works.
You say the light works? Y'all, he said the light works. Oh, Lord. What is that? He's y'all. What the hell is going on? Y'all see all these little kids? They have put kid shoes up in there. Those frozen Elsa boots, whatever you want to call it. Those boots are my daughter's.
If you ask me, that's a little bit beyond paranormal. That's called call your local police, call the FBI, and then get yourself some of that protection, man. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on.
You know the platypus has no stomach, and that's just the beginning. First off, it has venomous spurs on its hind legs that can cause extreme pain for weeks in humans if stung, and fatal for a dog. They also glow under UV light. Platypuses also produce milk without nipples. Milk just seeps through the pores in the mother's skin, and babies lap it off the belly. They lay eggs, even though they're mammals. They hunt completely blind, closing their eyes, ears, and nose underwater, relying solely on electroreceptors in its soft, leathery bill. The platypus is a literal prehistoric survivor. They've been around for over 100 million years. When British scientists first saw one in the 1800s, they legit thought it was stitched together from different animals. They even tried to peel the bill off. Did I miss anything else about the platypus?
At least now we know a platypus is nothing to play with.
I guess sometimes people just look alike. You can't see it. I'm not saying nothing by this. They're probably related, right? Same bloodline. I mean, they don't look that much alike. And then there's people that do this. Like, come on, we know that's just an old photo of them with a filter on it. Now, these two, they must share some blood, you know? They're same bloodline. Cousins, maybe? Now, that has to be a coincidence. You know, I don't even know who that is. That's Hillary Clinton. Now, these two don't even look alike, really. Come on, guys. Come on, they're just all related, right? That's the answer here. We know everyone in Hollywood is related. Now, that's just a filter. That's probably from a movie he did. Same here. There's no way it could be clones or anything like that. Now, come on, this is probably the same person. I don't really know celebrities, guys, so I'm not sure. Again, coincidence, family, come on. It's not like there was ancient people who preserved their DNA, that way they could be copied in the future. And it's not like cloning is even real. I mean, because if it was real, we'd all know about it, right?
Tonight I ask you to pass legislation to prohibit the most egregious abuses of medical research, human cloning in all its forms, creating or implanting embryos for experiments, creating human-animal hybrids, and buying, selling, or patenting human embryos.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
You'll never guess what this actually means, and the method is downright horrifying. Before I really get into it, all these orbs you see are actually demons, and yeah, I'll prove it in a minute because a massive ritual had just taken place right here, which is why in the same photo shoot they had a bed and an altar. This right here, and this and this and that. This is why you should not mess around with the music industry. But yes, for stars, it's Michelle Amy, Travis Scott. She has been a high-level witch for the music industry for decades. And notice they're in a bed. That's the common theme. And yes, unfortunately, this is a real photo shoot, not CGI, not AI. The music industry has this thing where they have to show you when they're possessed by demons. There's actually a right in the 30-second where you have to open yourself up to enlightened masters, which are demons. Pay attention to this for 1 minute, and no, I'm not making anything up. I've been studying the occult and reading their books for 14 years. The reason the spheres are in the air, the demons, is because a massive ritual had taken place. If you look at this album cover, blood, sugar, something, magic. And also if you look, the magic is spelled with a K. It's only spelled that way by the initiated or people who know the power of magic. Why doesn't he have anything on? Shirts, hoodies, socks, trying to be subtle. Do y'all know what a succubus is? A succubus is a female demon that comes down to do something with men. Do you know what an incubus is? It's a male demon that does the same thing. And this was shown by the bed in the shape of an altar. All the spheres and the lack of fabrics. If you could see what it looked like around you when you're listening to certain music, you would see these everywhere. Beware.
That photo shoot definitely left a lot to the imagination. I mean, if all you're going to see is Travis Scott butt naked on the floor with that lady on the couch chilling, I don't know. I don't know. Let me know what you think.
Terrorist groups could attempt to hijack self-driving vehicles to carry out mass casualty attacks or use drones to target individuals. That's the warning from the United Nations as AI becomes increasingly integrated in our lives. Self-driving taxis are becoming more common. Google's Waymos are already operating in several US cities, including Los Angeles and San Francisco. While this week, Dubai and London announced their cities would trial Uber's version of the cars this year. But a UN report into the malicious use of AI is warning terrorists may try to hijack self-driving cars alongside drones and other automated systems to carry out attacks. It says given the historical use of vehicles in terror attacks, increased autonomy in cars could very well be an amenable development for terrorist groups, allowing them to effectively carry out one of their most traditional types of attacks remotely without the need for a follower to sacrifice his or her life or risk being apprehended. The UN says the capabilities of terrorist groups to abuse AI right now is low, but warns the intention is there. It points out back in 2016 there was some evidence Islamic State terrorists were experimenting with a rudimentary version of a remote-controlled car.
Hey, right now definitely isn't the time to sleep. You want to be on your P's and Q's.
Hypnosis, using the word wait and then pause. The word wait captivates someone's focus, and hypnosis is all about capturing people's attention. So if I say wait and then pause, that person is going to listen intently of what I'm about to say with them. Then after I pause, I can insert the suggestion or ask the question to get the person in their imagination. So I say, wait, why is this something that you want to do now? And that person will activate their imagination because they're in trance and they begin to give you the answer to those questions.
Trying to comprehend how big the blue whale actually is breaks my brain. By mass, this is not just the largest creature on Earth today. This is the largest creature that has ever existed on Earth. And that includes the dinosaurs. These things can get up to almost 100 feet long and 400,000 pounds. That's why people don't go to the ocean. On land, we don't have animals that are almost 500,000 pounds. Like their tongue weighs as much as an elephant. Their heart weighs as much as a car. Their veins are so big that a human can swim through them. They could eat 250,000 calories in one bite.
They look more like spacemen than like E.T. looking aliens.
I'll bet you haven't heard an alien encounter story like this one. So back in 2019, 2 elk hunters were bow hunting in northern New Mexico, right near the Colorado border. They ran into something they still can't explain. It happened near Pot Mountain in the San Luis Valley, which has been known to have reported UFO activity in the past. One of them said that he thought he saw 2 other hunters, but quickly realized these weren't people at all.
Brinkley says the first day of the hunt, he spotted what he thought were two hunters.
We have little shapes on the right and left side of them, oversized heads, kind of black torsos.
The next day, both men came across what looked like a movie set.
I thought it was like a base camp, maybe? Catering.
As they drove closer to the 100-foot-long structure,
And the road just dipped down a little bit for a couple seconds, gone.
There's no way a trailer or a truck pulled it away, or it doesn't just disappear like that.
their movie set theory quickly changed.
What better place to land an alien spacecraft than out here, right?
The men say the experience has opened their eyes and changed their beliefs about aliens.
It actually happened to a couple guys that really don't believe in much.
Francesca Washington, KRQE News 13.
What a wild story. I will note that allegedly around the same time, a local rancher reported he had a cow mutilation nearby. What did these guys stumble across? NHI beings or some sort of black ops operation? Please chime in on this one. Let me know what you think in the comments.
What we're talking about is they have found a whole new minefield, and it is your conscience. They are now mining human conscience. And so they're not just mining, okay, let's try to foretell what this person wants to purchase or what this person wants to consume online. They are capturing neural data points such as our emotions, our personality, our motives, our intent. This is where the cognitive dissonance is going to kick in, because people are going to go, well, that's just Minority Report and that's just a movie. You have to realize in some cases which came first, the chicken or the egg. What happens is the movies come first to get us uncomfortable with these very uncomfortable thoughts. And then 20, 30 years later, the actual tech gets rolled out.
And we know that to be a fact. Let's go all the way back to like Men in Black. You know, around that time, people were not talking about seeing aliens and UAPs. It wasn't a heavy conversation like how it is now. So, you know, there's a lot to that. You know, all the movies you want to know what's going to happen in like 5-10 years, definitely check out some of the movies that happened about 5-10 years ago, maybe even less. And you also have to factor in Project Bluebeam, right? So there's a lot of things at play, but it's happening right in front of our face.
They're more likely to vanish here than anywhere else in America. These are the top 5 places in the US where people go missing and are never found. 5. Yosemite National Park. Over 30 unsolved disappearances since the 1980s. Dense forest, cliffs, strange patterns. Multiple people have vanished from the same trail. Some were experienced hikers, gone without a trace. 4th Alaska, entire state. The wilderness swallows people whole. Thousands of missing persons, some never even reported. Locals call it the Alaska Triangle. Planes, hikers, hunters, vanished. 3. The Great Smoky Mountains, Tennessee, North Carolina. Home to Dennis Martin's chilling disappearance. One moment he was there, the next, gone. Hundreds of searchers, no trace. Whispers of feral people, or something else. 2nd Shasta, Trinity National Forest, California hotspot, for bizarre missing 411 cases. Even park rangers report hearing things they can't explain. People disappear here, and sometimes come back different. 1. Colorado's Rocky Mountain National Park, the epicenter of weird vanishing cases. Weather turns instantly. Time seems to warp. Last text sent. Then nothing. So, where would you never go alone?
There's a lady in New Zealand that makes dish towels with your face on them. And I'm going to show you one because I want you to know it exists. 3 Ryan Goslings on a dish towel. Would you wash dishes with your own face?
Okay, let's watch all the ways that Ryan self-soothes in this video. When we human beings get nervous, we touch our faces and we touch our skin. And where we touch our skin or our faces varies from person to person, from individual to individual. And I just love that he starts rubbing his face to calm himself down when something's uncomfortable. He clearly finds this really funny and also really, really itchy and uncomfortable. And the other thing that he does is called blocking, and that's when we squeeze our eyes shut, and we do that for two primary reasons. So blocking, we close our eyes when something is really too uncomfortable, too much to manage, too traumatizing, or when something is so delicious that we want to marinate, like we hug our grandmother, or we hug a baby, or we hug somebody that we love. We close our eyes to marinate in the situation. So it's really just an attempt to shut off the outside world that can be positive or negative. Then another form of blocking is to put some barrier in between us and the thing that's making us uncomfortable. So in this case, he actually blocks his eyes with his hand. I love this video and it made me laugh. I'm Annie Sarnblad and I teach microexpressions.
Documenting the alien encounter we're having.
Taking video of it so she can send it to Unsolved Mysteries.
I'm moving.
My favorite buildings. Take a look. Those columns were gigantic, and those are about 4 foot by 4 foot wide Corinthian pillars. I gotta tell you, the statues, they don't fit. They don't make any sense. I felt like I stepped back into Rome, and then I looked up and this beautiful, beautiful stained glass up there is just unbelievable. Everything about this place was incredibly opulent. This is an old picture of what it looked like back in the day, supposedly. But look at those hallways. Look at those arches and those lights. Everything is stone. It's unbelievable. If you ever get a chance to get out there, you need to. This is what it looks like now. It's immense. For some reason, there's some kind of king outside on the wall, which I thought was weird. And then you got Hermes. What is Hermes doing here? It doesn't make much sense. And check this out. That's Monument Circle. Look at it. It's crazy. I don't know, guys. I really think I'm starting to get onto something. And all of your support is so appreciated. You have no idea. Leave a like, a comment, a favorite, and it helps me keep doing this. I have a lot of fun doing this, and I have a lot of fun researching this stuff. Okay, this is the plaque that says it was built in 10 years. And this is the skylight. Unbelievable. And here is the front door. Look at that thing. It's massive. And here's the front hallway when you walk into it. Just beautiful. Check out this arch. Isn't that great? Another view of the hallway. I'm just telling you. Tell me, what a wimpy cornerstone is that? Look at the corn. Whatever. Here's the side building. See the phoenix on top? And then to end with the front of the building. Massive. Thanks for watching.
I want you to look and tell me if you could see it in her face, and then listen to what she says.
How are you? You look phenomenal. Thank you. I am doing great, but honey, you look looking super fun tonight. Thank you. So what is a secret detail to your look tonight that no one else knows, only you know about?
Well, this was based on the, I need my phone because I don't want to get anything wrong.
No, that's okay.
Anyway, it's paying homage to the Yoruba culture and the women who, paid honors to a deity. They wore white because it represented transformation and spirituality, and that's where I am right now.
Why do you say that?
Because I'm at peace. I fought for the peace that I found now.
Now that specific interview that I saw the very first time, they chopped it up all good, made her look like she had like the ultimate poise, very calm, cool, collected. But that right there, that was a whole different situation. You saw a woman who was very, very, very unsure of the situation she was in. There was a lot of uncertainty going on there. I don't know if you picked up on it, but I definitely did.
So while we're all being distracted, whether we're going to war or not, I don't know if you guys have been to your Google Maps or your Apple Maps and looked up Washington, D.C. It's not there anymore. It's just Washington.
Harry Styles and George Clooney are allegedly sleeping together and have been on again, off again for years now. It's been alleged in earlier blind items that George Clooney's wife Amal is sleeping with someone else and not living in the same house as him. And there have been blind items dating back to 2020 that link Harry Styles to George Clooney and Randy Gerber, Cindy Crawford's husband. Everything in this video is alleged, not confirmation of validity of allegations. What used to be just in the domain of blind items and whispered around Hollywood is now being shouted online. The permanent A-list actor and the former A-list singer soloing in a group hooking up. Will they ignore it like they have for years, or will they finally say something? And again, this allegedly George Clooney hooking up with Harry Styles. And the related blind item from February of 2020 reads, the foreign-born former boy bander was a reason that the A-plus list mostly movie actor and his partner had a falling out. I guess that is back in play yet again. And this is allegedly Harry Styles, George Clooney, and Randy Gerber. And this next one from October of 2020 reads, this foreign-born former boy bander / sometimes actor is having trouble getting the projects he wanted because the A-plus list mostly movie actor holds a big grudge. And again, this allegedly Harry Styles and George Clooney, and they apparently had a falling out back in 2020. And the only time that Harry Styles and George Clooney were linked together was back in 2020 when Harry Styles was photographed biking with George Clooney's close friend. And that would match up with the timeline of the blind items. And here is the blind item about Amal Clooney hooking up with someone else. The wife of the permanent A-list actor who sometimes directs is hooking up with a guy her own age. And again, this is allegedly George Clooney, who's 64, and Amal Clooney, who's 47. And the next related blind item reads, the wife of this A-list actor / sometimes director lives overseas in a place that is paid for by a member of the royal family from a Middle Eastern country.
I ain't gonna lie, that move that she just hit did make her look like she had slight possession going on. Let's be honest.
Ever wonder why so many cultures pray with their palms facing up? In Islam, this posture isn't random. It's ancient bioenergetic wisdom. When your palms face upward, your nervous system instantly relaxes. It tells your body, we're safe, we're open, we're ready to receive. That means your energy field actually starts to pull things in. Next time you're setting intentions, try this posture, then breathe slowly and deeply. You'll feel the shift. And when you do, that's manifestation in real time. You're not begging, you're becoming.
We get paid to rap about that stuff. They actually pay us more when we rap about more ignorant stuff, so I make sure I even a line and come talk on stages like this.
Man, I was flooded with millions of dollars from the time I was 16, and I woke up one morning and I was like, damn. They got me. Man, look at the shit I spoke about. Look at the shit I put in these people's ears. Man, I feel very wrong about a lot of things. How many lives I actually am responsible for when it comes to my music. How many kids and people have gotten in the car or put this shit in their ears and actually hurt someone. And now I'm sitting back like, damn.
It's weird. I've been having these weird feelings lately, and that's kind of why I didn't want her to do this song, Shake It, or like any drill songs, because it's like these songs are activating like these demons that I killed. I don't want to be that girl anymore. Like, I just want to be a mother. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be that old Cardi anymore.
I want to be a city girl.
She ain't gonna be no city girl.
So Summer ain't allowed to be no city girl?
No. I want her raised totally different. Like, you know, I don't even want her to even see the light of day like that. Like, I really want her to just be like, you know, like level-headed, a schoolgirl, and just on a whole nother wave.
That's a great clip because it shows why you got to be careful of all the seeds that you plant. Because when it's time to harvest that fruit, man, you might look back and be kind of shameful, as we see.
Is this proof of a melted building in Peru? As you can see, there's structures that appear to be built into the mountain. But is the entire mountain itself a former man-made structure, perhaps melted by energy weapons? And just opposite, we see even more of the same. Is it all remnants from a past reset? And the same can be said for this mountain that's filled with tombs. But are the bodies inside unlucky victims from the old world? Is this an example of what these mountains looked like previously?
I don't listen to people that I can't learn from. So I don't listen to interviews of artists that don't have no value in what they say. I don't listen to music from people that I can't get no game from. Are you the smartest one in your team? Definitely not. I might be the dumbest one.
The second person in the world who invented an engine that can run on water.
Oh yeah, he was killed.
Gasoline is in an off position, and it's running on no electrolysis. So it's running on a hyper.
He was happened to be the security guard of some random department store shooter.
Again, there's no electrolysis.
Okay, now it's not running off of gas fumes?
No, there's no gas fumes. There's no gas fumes.
And I'm like, I never really believed in the grooming, the CIA grooming, until that kid's mom, if I remember correctly, this is allegedly, I never really saw anything official, but tried reporting the fact that she found government operatives trying to talk to him about doing stuff. And he was the one that went in and killed the one guy that was going to revolutionize, driving cars, because people were going to lose a lot of money.
Oh yeah, of course. Whether it's pharmaceutical stuff, you look at all these people, not Halliburton, but Boeing, all these people that stuff happens, all mysteriously they're dead, or they've shot themselves behind their head, point blank, suicide, like a assassination.
In the back of our mind, we all know this is what happens at Subway, and frankly at all the fast food places. We know what's going on, but if we're hungry enough, we'll ignore it. I mean, I don't go there, but I know some people do ignore it and still go anyway.
Tell you a psychological truth that you must know. Sigmund Freud said this. The more perfect a person is on the outside, the more demons they have on the inside. Beware of people who seem too virtuous, who seem too good. They might be hiding something. And on the flip side, just remember somebody who's rough around the edges. Someone who's always not absolute nicest. They might be your most loyal friend in time of need.
It's really deep. You all need to share this. Pastor Craig is about to reveal how did Michael Jackson get his songs. Wow.
The three ways Michael Jackson got his songs. The first way, Michael Jackson said, he told Martin Brashear on an interview that he would climb a tree called the Given Tree, the tree of knowledge. Tree of knowledge. He'd climb this tree and he would get his songs. Second way, Aleister Crowley said in his book, 777, that he had a room of mirrors, and if you look into a mirror, you can look into yourself, and you can channel the spirits of those that were before you. He's really saying that those that may have molested you, or those that may have taken from you, you can bring them back and ask them to be your guide and tell you why they did what they did to you. So Michael Jackson created a mirror, a room of mirrors, that he could go in and channel spirits. And Michael Jackson chose a specific spirit. He says this, he says, I have my own secret room with a moving wall and mirrors, okay? Same room that Aleister Crowley had. He says, this is where I talk to Liberace. I hear his voice in there. I feel his presence so very close to me. He's like my guardian angel. He even gave me permission to record his title, I'll Be Seeing You. That's in the Psychic News in 1987. Liberace, homosexual, flamboyant homosexual. You channel the spirit of the most flamboyant homosexual of our time. And the third way is the way I believe Michael Jackson died. He said that his best songs came in dreams. Michael Jackson would channel Morpheus, the god of dreams, who studied under Serapis Bey. Serapis Bey is the image that Catholics use as the image of Christ, but it's not. He has the Ra, the sun god, behind his head. He looks just like Christ, but it's not. Just like Semiramis and Nimrod, that whole thing I told you about earlier. But he was an Egyptian incarnated god, so he would channel those spirits. He also channeled the spirits of Hypnos and Thanatos. Hypnos is the god of sleep. Thanatos is the god of death, and they're brothers along with Morpheus. Now,
y'all hit that follow button. Stay tuned for part 2. More truth bombs and reactions. Y'all follow me on IG. Subscribe to the YouTube. Let's get it.
And if you pay attention,
That candy, it's a bunch of red pills. And this line is fucking deep.
You're here to try to understand why you made it.
I love that she talks shit to him, like, I thought you were smarter all the time. Here's the candy. See, it's a red pill. She's consistently eating just red pills. I wonder what the symbolism is for that. The exact symbolism. Now here, this is where some people might like fall off and not understand. Like, oh, these crows are a program. Like, yeah, that's true of like every little graphic on your computer. Back in 03, 04, most people didn't know how computers really fucking worked. At least not really.
Yeah, the Matrix was riddled with all kind of messages, and you definitely had to be looking with your side eye to kind of understand even a tenth of it.
March 10th of 2025, a man is recording a vacant property that's burning down in the middle of the woods. As he films, something is captured that's left many viewers unsettled.
You should see it right now. It's amazing. Look through the window. Woo. It's getting out of hand right now.
Even stranger is that the figure quickly ducks out of sight the moment the owner looks down the hall, almost as if it was trying to hide. The owner would have probably seen it had he not been mesmerized by the blazing flames that were close to him.
It's amazing. Look through the window.
For this reason, he misses the figure, and, apparently, something else. It was only after viewers started looking closely at the rest of the footage that more things were noticed. As it seems, the figure wasn't the only unsettling thing about this clip. Out of nowhere, a child's voice is caught on camera, even though there were no kids around. It's a distinct voice that clearly sounds like a child laughing. Although not sure where the voice came from, many believe that the house might have some connection to it. If that's so, then what was captured next has most likely convinced many that the house is haunted. While recording a different side of the burning structure, this was caught.
All day.
Like before, a dark figure is briefly seen before disappearing out of nowhere. It's the fact that it comes out from the same house where the last figure was seen that makes this video even creepier, and it doesn't help that a child's voice was caught earlier. Could it be, as viewers believe, that all these occurrences are due to the fact that the house is haunted? Some believe that the burning house has forced whatever had been inside to leave the property at once, which to them explains why the shadowy figure was seen running out of the house and the kid's voice was heard outside, as if they had nowhere else to go now. Although an interesting thought, it isn't certain if that's the case. Like all videos, I'll let you come up with your own conclusions, but let me know what you think.
That house definitely had to have been inhabited by like ghosts or the spirits of like the people that have lived their last, that might have passed away. Who knows? Let me know what you think though.
Forget the x-rays. We have the CT scan images of the Buga Sphere. And I'm looking at these images and I'm like, why does this look like Stonehenge? Real quick recap for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about. This orb was flying around Buga, Colombia. It was videotaped by two different people at the same time on March 2nd at 1:45 p.m. One of the recordings is from Jose and the other one is from Maria. Jose and his friend were out metal detecting. Maria was out feeding her cows. Jose and his friend claimed that it struck some wires, and then in Maria's video, it is flying very slowly up and down. You can actually even see lights on the sphere in Maria's video. And then it actually landed in the woods in front of Jose, and they went and retrieved it. Initially, all they had was x-ray images, and that they used AI to help decode what this says. We'll come back to that in a minute. The orb seems to be completely sealed, no welds, no joints. After about 30 days, they didn't know what to do with it anymore, so they recruited the help of Jamie Masson, who is a known ufologist, to which he claims the sphere is currently in a safety deposit box. They've been taking it out and having experts do rounds of tests on it. We now know that it is about 95% aluminum, smaller percentage of manganese and zinc, that every test they've run on it, it has fluctuated The hardness of the aluminum originally tested 326 to 336 units. Pure aluminum is typically only 65. Duralumin is typically up to 105. But as they've continued to test this sphere, every test fluctuates between the hardness of the aluminum. The temperature changes constantly from 24 with ranges all the way up to 33 for no apparent reason. When Jose picked it up in the woods, he said it weighed roughly 4.5 pounds, but every time they have weighed it, it has weighed something different. And no one has an explanation for that. Maybe something anti-gravity? Or something inside of it is messing with all the electronics. Okay, now that you're up to speed on all of that, these are the CT scan images, some of them. And they made 3D models based on the images. Now, no one knows exactly what this is inside of it, but let me explain something to you. These images here are if it was sliced in half where the belt with the little rivet-looking things going around the edge, and these images are if the belt is this way. So it's almost like, do you see this here? And there's like almost a straight line there. It's almost like if you took this one and turned it, that this would be where that is, and this would be where that is. But what is that? Now, here are some measurements they did, and the outer edge wall is about 3/4 of an inch thick. Now, one thing that they noticed was if you took these out, these go all the way to the center, like an opening. Okay, so now in this image, those would be where those two openings were. And that's when I was like, God, why does this look so similar to Stonehenge when it's sliced in half? Don't ask me how my brain put these two things together because I don't know. Then I was like, let me compare it to the outside also. And I'm like, well, that's the language. But what I find super interesting is that everybody was talking about the language being decoded by AI. AI analyzed the language, but not against an alien language, against ancient Earth languages. They say that AI analyzed it against Runic, Enochian, Ogham, ancient Arabic, ancient Hebrew, and even ancient Mesopotamia. So do you guys think this is actually still some sort of really elaborate hoax, or do you think there could be some truth to all of this? So if this is a hoax, could someone explain how it's flying?
Dying. This is what I just found in my salmon. I'm dying. I want to die. I want to go throw up everything I just ate. I feel so nauseous and sick. I'm never eating again. Like ever. Oh, Whole Foods. Whole Foods, wild, sockeye salmon. I want to die.
Hey, definitely check your food out there, folks. Hey, you definitely don't want to be swallowing any kind of worms or parasites, man. You'll be down bad, trust me.
In 2001, they found the perfect enemy, one you couldn't see. And just like that, the Patriot Act shredded your rights in the name of national security. Surveillance became legal, torture became justified, and war became permanent. We didn't just invade Afghanistan, we invaded the future, and we never came back. In 2008, they ran the biggest con in financial history. The banks gambled with your home, your savings, your future, and lost. So the government rewarded them. Trillions in bailouts to Wall Street, foreclosures and bankruptcies for everyone else. And just like that, upward mobility was dead. The middle class was taken, and it never came back. In 2020, they shut down the world. COVID, the perfect excuse for a reset. Small businesses were crushed. Gig work replaced real jobs. Stimulus checks gave the illusion of help, while wealth quietly consolidated into fewer and fewer hands. It wasn't about health, it was about control, digital tracking, behavioral conditioning, compliance as a currency. And now here we are, 2025. They're telling you collapse is coming, but it isn't coming, it's already happened. The United States has fallen, but it wasn't a single event. It was hollowed out in phases. Your dollar is weaker, your rent is higher, your freedoms are conditional, and through it all, they kept you distracted. They fed you outrage, left versus right, woke versus traditional, mask versus no mask, drag queens, TikTok bans, culture war after culture war, while the real war was on your standard of living. This isn't a system failing, it's a system working exactly as designed. A collapsing empire doesn't look like fire and rubble. It looks like billionaires buying farmland. It looks like corporate news pumping terror into your veins. It looks like rigged choices dressed up as democracy. It looks like vets sleeping on sidewalks. It looks like food lines wrapped around luxury condos. It looks like America.
Well, you guys, hey, that's another one in the books, man. Hey, I appreciate you guys for stopping by and watching another one with me, man, like you always do. If you haven't already, smash that like button for me, smash that subscribe button, and join the iTrack fam. And I will definitely catch you on the next one.